Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakal Kadash, double honors to Elder Apostles, the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere laborers out there pushing this truth, and all sincerity and faith and honesty. Alright, it's your brother, fellow servant, Brother Kanakala, coming at you back again. Alright, GMS Tampa Bay, GMS Ride Tampa Bay 777. Come with this working labor of love, all right, to because we're supposed to be watchmen, all right. So just keep your eyes out on the things that's happening, on key articles, key prophecies as things take place. Yahushua said, watch, all right. Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, the first 2 verses, measured out the time diligently in itself, all right. And Lord willing, this truck, I got this truck when I'm at work. Lord willing, this truck isn't too loud. But anyways, it says U.S. threatens sanctions against countries that fail to cut off Iran oil imports meets resistance. All right, so the U.S. It's threatening to put sanctions on other countries. Okay, even including allies, American allies. Iran has a lot of oil reserves. You know, very, very rich in oil. Even more than their number one ally when it comes to oil, Saudi Arabia. Iran has more oil than they do, man. All right, and America wants control over that oil, control over those resources. So they want to make war with Iran, demonize Iran, saying that Iran is this, Iran is that, nuclear program. Iran is threatening world peace, so on and so forth. You know how they demonize just to declare war so they can invade the country and take over its natural resources and spread its democracy, which is known as its wine. It's known as wine in the scriptures. When the scriptures speak about Babylon has made the world drunken, you know, with the wine, that speaks of the philosophies of America. All right, it's democracy, it's way of life. Okay, and the nations have drunken it, and the nations are mad. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get right into this article. Okay, just a quick hit right here. So this article was published a couple days ago. Today's the 29th. This article was published on the 22nd, and it reads: U.S. threatens sanctions against countries that fail to cut off Iranian oil imports meets resistance. It says Washington may slap sanctions on governments that fail to reduce Iran oil imports. All right, so let's look up this word real quick, just for edification. Dictionary. Sanctions. If someone in authority sanctions an action or practice, they officially approve of it and allow it to be done. So America will be the one that's in authority. All right, the one that rules the earth, the hammer. Okay. Going down, says verse 2. It's like not verse 2. Scriptures. The second right here, it says sanctions are measures taken by countries to restrict trade and official contact with a country that has broken international law. Okay, so that's the point right here. So America is trying to police the world. Okay, telling countries who they can and cannot do business with. All right, and with that being said, how can you sit here and tell countries who they can and cannot do business with, man? If those countries need to feed their family, if it's going to benefit those countries, regardless of the relationships you have with that country, all right, I should be able to do business with them. All right, your issue with them is not my issue. All right, I still got to eat. So regardless of what issue you have with us, I mean with them, we don't have an issue with them. We need to eat. So that's what the country's saying. All right, we're not gonna and they already have contracts. Iran already has contracts pending with these countries concerning oil, man. All right, so America is like a thorn in the flesh. So we know what sanctions are. Okay, sanctions are measures taken by countries to restrict trade and official contact with a country that has broken international law. All right, so if these countries continue to do business with Iran, America can cut them off with sanctions from being able to trade. All right, cut off certain import and exports from the countries. Reading on. So we know what sanctions is. Washington may slap sanctions on governments that fail to reduce Iran oil imports. And just for edification, I'm going to look up this word imports for you. And it says, to import products or raw materials means to buy them from another country for use in your country. So what? To buy them from another country for use in your country. So what? The countries want to buy oil from Iran so they can use it for their vehicles, for their, you know, to fuel their appliances and whatnot, man. To, you know, so why should, you know, the countries like, why should we have to suffer because you have a bad relationship with them? We need the oil, you know. You're not giving us oil. You're not, you know, you don't have oil reserves like Iran does. All right, we're trying to do business here. So the other countries are not listening to that, because America is losing its power, is losing its threshold. All right. It says by early November. It says by early November. So what? January, February, March, April. All right. So within a couple months, man. They said by 0 to 0. Okay. So they want them to completely cut off all ties, economic ties with Iran. It says the U.S. administration has been pushing its allies to follow U.S. President Donald Trump's lead after he decided to pull out of the landmark nuclear agreement between Iran and 6 world powers. All right. So it says it has been pushing its allies, okay? So, you know, that brings up a scripture to mind. We're living in these times. This Revelation 17, verse 14. I'm started 13, Salakia. No, I'm started 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as king 1 hour with the beast, and the beast is NATO, the other EU country. So going back to this article, all right, it has the U.S. administration has been pushing its allies to follow U.S. President Donald Trump's lead after deciding to pull out. So since we not dealing with him, that's what America's saying, since we not dealing with him, we need you guys to stop dealing with him. Once again, why should your relationship affect our relationship? All right. So going back, it says the 10 horns of thou sawest are the 10 kings that have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Now we're going to go into that. Got this right here in the gallery. The 10 horns. Okay. Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, and Portugal, England, Ireland, and West Germany. All right. So, as you can see, those are all European nations. All right. EU, the beast. All right. These nations make up NATO, which is the beast. All right. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. All right. It established August 4th, 1949, consisting of 19 nations. All right, but these are the original signatures right here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this article real quick. This socket, so we know what the beast is now. All right, that's that whole system, the white man's system. All right, and it says reading on, it says these shall make war with the lambs. So ultimately, these nations are gonna come up against Yahushua, which is that lamb. It says, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords, King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the horse sitteth are the peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right, so this is that whore right here, like it says, that great whore that sit on the nation. See? The scriptures are real, man. All right, it's prophecy, because America is trying to control these nations, its allies. Going back to this article, all right, Salakia, going back to this article, the U.S. administration has been pushing Donald Trump and his allies, it has been pushing its allies to follow U.S. President Donald Trump. So America is in control. So originally America right here controls these nations, influences these nations. All right, so this is that whore. So go back to the precept, Salakia. It says and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the horse sitteth. So the waters represent the people where the horse sitteth. America, you see how she was sitting on top of the beast. All right, are peoples and tongues and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, they shall hate the whore. All right, because look, that's the avenue, so to say, to hating this whore. All right, that's that gateway to hate this whore, America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. How that's going to take place? The scriptures say America's going to be destroyed by fire, which is thermonuclear weapons. All right, that's the interpretation of that. Okay, so they're going to shoot missiles on America. All right, for the Most High, the Heavenly Father, had put it in their hearts to fulfill His will and agreed to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the one which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So, how America reign over the kings? Making pride statements like this: Washington may slap sanctions on governments that fail to reduce. So, they ruling. Britain not saying we're gonna slap sanctions on people. France not saying we're gonna slap sanctions on people. Only America saying we're gonna slap sanctions on people if they don't agree, if they don't follow our lead or follow suit. Because of what? America is that whore, okay, that woman which saw us in a great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Okay, and America is one great city. Right now, you know, I'm in the Bay Area. I can move to Washington State. Okay, just pick up right now, move and find an apartment, apply, or find a house, apply, put in an application, and I can move right there, get a job, fill out a job application, and move right into the next state. All right, no matter how far it is. So it's one great city. Just how I'm in the city of Tampa. All right, I can move anywhere in this city and find an apartment and move. All right, so America is just one great city. All right. Going back to this article, and that's pretty much it. It says, that's pretty much it, man. So it says Washington allies, including those dependent on Iran's oil. Okay, so you got people dependent on Iran's oil. So it's like, I already set this deal. I have contracts pending. So you messing up my money. You messing up my economy. It says should ultimately refuse the imports by November 4th or else face secondary U.S. sanctions. It was stressed that there are no waivers planned. So there's no way you can get past this. They say there's no waivers planned. Okay, they're not saying, okay, well, France, you can pass because, we see you need the money. We see you need the economic relationship with them. So, no waivers planned. It says this means that the Trump administration will not allow countries to gradually phase out Iran's oil exports over the duration of many months like the Obama White House did. We have a lot of diplomatic muscle memory for urging, cajoling, negotiating with our partners to reduce their investments to zero, the unnamed State Department official said. Their trip did not include Turkey and largest importers of Iran oil, India, China so far, but the countries are also to be urged to stop purchase by early November. So, America is telling everybody, even his own allies, man. I mean, people that's not even his allies. All right, it says, I'm going to jump down here. It says, among Iran's most significant customers are China, South Korea, India, Japan. All right, the State Department said that even if they're reluctantly, Tokyo understands that the Secretary of the White House aren't kidding about sanctions, the official said. All right. Going down. See, oil jumps as Trump asks allies to cut off Iranian oil. Oil prices spiked on an announcement which already comes during concerns about shortages and crude prices hitting a 3.5-year high. The withdrawal from the nuclear deal left the U.S. isolated as its close allies, including France, UK, Germany, all right, that's them hating the whore, all right, have been working to prevent the agreement from crumbling. Meanwhile, Iran vowed to reopen its second uranium enrichment facility for the nuclear deal collapses. If the nuclear deal collapses. All right. I'm going to get one more precept and I'm going to branch off here. Obadiah, the first chapter. Now this is concerning you so-called white people, the nation of Edom. Edom red. So-called white people, whether you're from France, whether you're from Britain, whether you live in Italy, whether you live in South Africa, you're Edomite, all right? If you're so-called, if you categorize, if your genealogy is you're so-called European, that's your bloodline, all right? You are Edomite. So that's why we say so-called white, because it's not about color. So-called white, because we actually have Israelites that look like so-called white people. That's been mingled. The seed has been mingled amongst the people. And see this. Obadiah 1:7. All the men in thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, because these countries are America. America doesn't export anything really, man. It needs all the other countries. So it's like, yo, we don't need you, man. You don't help us at all, man. So why in the hell will we get rid of our economic ties with a country that has natural resources when you don't export anything really? No soy, all that GMO soybeans you export to China and shit, man. But other than that, man, look, it says the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, because they still gonna continue in their doings. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. All right. So with that, Lord willing, you brothers are edified. I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Shemi Al Shai. Double honor to the apostles of the great millstone. Salutations to all you sincere labors out there, pushing truth in all sincerity and faith and honesty.